Hello everyone, this is me, CA Ashwar, your host for the video. I am really sorry for not being able to upload any of the videos last week, and I was busy with my classes at the IIMs, and because of that I was not able to get time enough for a video, so I was not able to post online any of the videos. As we speak, one of my videos for how to go for the campus selection, that is getting uploaded, and this is my second video that I'm making for the day. So today we are going to talk about points that you need to consider while you're going for an interview. So every interview is unique in its own way, and there are various things that you need to consider while you're going for an interview. So I have selected a few points that are a must, and those are the things that you must consider before going for an interview, or even before applying online for a job. There are certain things that you need to take care of. While I'll be focusing this on the latter part, maybe on the next video, the prime motive of this video that you're watching is how to go and be ready for your interview. So before I go ahead with it, I'll request you to subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that as soon as I upload the next video, you get a notification for that. So let's begin. So an interview is something that makes you sweat, that makes you think, oh my god, what am I going to do? There are various things that are coming up in your mind, and there are various things that you feel that if they are not dealt with properly, you might screw up your interview. So the first thing that you need to understand is that you should have the knowledge of the profile you are interviewing for. So every company that is coming to the campus, or every company where you go and give an interview, maybe off campus, remember to ask for the JD. For the campus, you will be definitely getting a job profile or a job description. For off campus, let's say there are companies, there are recruitment firms that will say that we have scheduled your interview, please come and go for the on this date and give your interviews. Be frank enough to ask them, hey, can you please tell me what is the job profile for which I am interviewing? Because that is the main thing that you need to focus on. So if I say I have to go to an interview at American Express, so American Express for chartered accountants has over 30-40 profiles. So what are you going to study? You don't know. So the job profile is very important to know. And as soon as you know the job profile, you need to think, is that job profile something that you already know? If it is, well, that is good. Just brush up all that you have learned, or all the knowledge that you have, and you're ready for it. Otherwise, if there are points which you feel that I don't know what those points are, it's okay. Go to Google, search those things, and talk to your seniors, talk to the people whom you think might know those profiles, so that you have a better understanding of the job profile, because that is the one thing that is very important for you. There is one more thing hidden in it. Let's say there are 12 points in your job profile, and you have 10 points that you considered and that you know that you will be able to talk upon. And there are 2 points that you think I might just have a knowledge of, let's say a line, or 10 words, or no knowledge at all. So believe me, when you don't have any knowledge, it's not bad. Those 2 points are something, if they come up in an interview, simply say, ma'am, sir, I really looked up on the internet, or I really tried talking to other people to know what this thing is, but I was not able to gather any knowledge about it, and so I won't be commenting on it, because I don't want to give you a perception that I don't know anything. So it's okay for you to say this. It's okay for you to admit that you don't know some things. You're a human being. You're not a robot. They're not hiring a robots who knows everything. And if you already know all the things in the job profile, then probably the person who's taking your interview would be thinking that you are at par with him, and then he's going to take everything that he thinks he's doing in his daily life and question you about it. So tell them that you don't know these things, and those things that you know, remember to have a good knowledge about it. Okay, moving on to the second point that I have is knowledge of the company. So every company in which you want to go and work, they expect you to have a little bit knowledge, not how their balance sheet is made or what are their profits or what are their losses, but definitely what are their sources of income, where they are lagging, whether they have been in news recently, what are the main streams of income that they have, what are the problems in the industry, or how they are superior in the industry, or how the things are there get inside the company. So they do not want you to know everything about it, but yeah, going for an interview and saying I don't know about your company gives a very bad image to you. And even if you have very good knowledge about the subject matter, they might not even select you for this. So let's say I'm going, I'll talk to you about a not a recent interview, but an interview that I gave in my campus. In campus, there was a bank that came, and it had 4 profiles. So one of the profiles was analytics, and while interviewing, the interviewer asked me what profile you want to apply for. So I said I want to go for analytics. He said, you are a chartered accountant, how can you go for analytics and you don't have any knowledge about it? So I said I have knowledge about analytics, I have done this course on it, and I have certifications on it. And he said, okay, you have certifications, that's very good. Tell me something. Let's say I give you a chance in the analytics department. What analysis are you going to bring out? So I had read the company's balance sheet that morning, and while I was reading that bank's balance sheet, I found that they have advances more in quantum, and the deposits that they have were slightly less. So banks have a power to multiply the amount that they have in your deposits, but the same thing was not getting done in that bank. So just at the balance sheet level, I gave them this point that though you are a 120 years old bank, you are not growing because you're not creating money in the economy from your bank for which you are licensed for. So he said, how can you say that? So the conversation went from there to explaining him and ultimately me getting a job offer there. I did not join that bank, that is a different story altogether, but that is something that makes people think that yeah, if I am applying for something, I have the knowledge about the company, I have the knowledge about the profile, and only then I am applying for it. The next point is balance between a co-curricular and academics. So often what you do is just to look flashy, you're in your hobbies and in your co-curriculars, you write things that you have just not even done. Let's say you write, I love writing a blog, I love reading newspapers and magazines and books. And the first question that interviewer asks to get you comfortable is, tell me 5 news that you read in the morning today. So if those hobbies were genuine, that is something in which the interviewer was making an informal conversation to make you comfortable before he actually begins his interview. But that made you panic because you've never read the newspaper. He says, tell me the last book that you have read. Maybe he has not read anything, maybe he has read everything. But that does not mean that you can lie. Let's say you heard or you remember the name of a book. You said, I read this book. Coincidentally, the person who was interviewing you has actually read the book. Now imagine he says, oh, do you remember that character? Do you think he was perfectly well? And now you fumble. Now you are not able to respond. So maybe everything that you have written in your resume is correct, but at that point of time, the interviewer will not take you into consideration because you have lied on a simple thing as easy as your hobbies. It's okay if your hobby is sleeping, right? I want to sleep. You're a human being. You can have anything that you want. God never created us as alikes of each and every one. So write everything that is correct, that is true. Other co-curricular activities, if you have done any, it's very good that you have done them. Mention them in your CV because that brings out what other things that you're doing in life apart from studying, because everyone is studying, everyone is clearing this exam, that's why he is getting into this interview. What is that extra thing that you're doing, that USP that he's looking for? So those are the things that you need to focus on and you need to consider while you are writing up your CV. You may have an academic things that you might have achieved in your life, write those, but also write a single co-curricular activity. Maybe there was a seminar in your city and you just went there or helped, right? You try to help, you try to manage it, write something, because I don't believe that anyone or everyone who is watching this video has done nothing in life except study. So focus on that too. The next point is dress and how to take your resume, etc. while you go to the interview. So while suits and proper formal wears are something that you should always wear, the dress that you wear gives you confidence. If you are going inside an interview room and you have a proper coat or a suit on you and you're going inside the interview room, you will have much more confidence. It's not a necessity, but it is something that gives you confidence. You see there are 4 people standing beside you who are wearing suits and proper ties and all, and you are just coming inside wearing a shirt and a pant. It's nothing wrong in wearing a shirt or a pant, but when you're doing this and you're looking to other folks, you're losing your confidence there. So when you're losing your confidence, it was not something that you thought about, but before the interview this really stresses you up. And if you have stress while you're going inside for an interview, then believe me, this is going to play badly. You need your full confidence inside. So apart from that, your resume, so there are folders that are there, and you can get it at 150 or 200 rupees from the shops. Try carrying that folder files that you have, so that when you're getting inside, you have everything organized in it. And let's say if you have it on paper, or just you're carrying a CV in your one hand, or let's say you're carrying it in a file and you stumble upon something, all the things inside the file are a mess, or they just fall off, then you're collecting those things, and at that point of time also you're losing your confidence, while that folder would be chained and it would be closed. So even if it falls down, you can simply pick it up. The time consumed there is very less, and the confidence that you already have is still intact. It might not give you a bad impression as well. So this is also the thing that you need to consider. And the last point is do's and the don'ts. So while you are talking in an interview, if you have lots of co-curricular activities, it's good you have them, but try to maintain a balance while you are giving your interview. I remember once while I was giving an interview, I had talked about my academic things very less and my co-curricular things a lot more. So the review that the company gave me was, he was interested in doing things that was out of his academic or work life, and he was just trying to get a job. For what reasons we were unable to judge. So that is something very bad for me. I did not qualify that for that company, and I was kicked out. So this is one thing that you need to consider. Another thing that you need to consider is, while you're talking in an interview, while try to maintain an eye contact with the person, or show hand movements, hand gestures, and anything. Let's say if you are even making up an incident on that spot, remember to embed a moment where you felt that you were not up for it, and then how you were able to manage it. These things are small, but these things give a very good impression to the interviewer, that and these things make your story look more true. It's something I'm not saying that you should do, but it is something that on the moment, on the spot of time, if you have to, this is something that you need to consider. Another thing is, while your interview is done and you feel that the results are taking time, give the interview a little bit time. If you keep poking them, tell me my result, they get pissed off. Another thing, while you're going inside, if you are a guy and the interviewer panel is a woman or a girl sitting in front of you, do not move your hand in front to shake your hands. If you're a girl going inside, you can do it, but it's not seen as a good gesture where the guy or the boy moves his hand ahead to shake his hand until and unless the other person is doing that. So keep that thing in mind also. It's a small thing, but it is also important. So these are the things that I wanted you to know before you go for an interview, and these are things I want you to understand. I want you to practice. If you are bad at telling answers, practice it in front of a mirror. Practice all the things that you will say. Practice everything that is there in your resume. You need to understand that your resume is something that the person is reading and judging you from that. And if he has judged you from that, and then he is asking you questions based on it, and if you are not answering it, the judgment or the expectations that he had set from your resume start to go down. So as they go down, so is your job probability going down. So these are the things. Keep these things in mind. And if you have any questions, you can always do a WhatsApp message. Please do not call me anytime you feel like. I am busy with my own work, and I'm busy sometimes in meetings and other things. So I'll request you humbly to give me a WhatsApp message, and I'll reply to you within 24 hours. That's a promise. My mobile number is 860-193-2907. So that was it from my side. If you have still not subscribed to this channel, please do it. Thank you.